All right, Infinite Ear. Hasn't been a while since I've done one of these top five lists on my channel, so let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. Don't forget the notification bell because YouTube's been a little wonky with that lately. Also, join me on Twitter or Discord to get updates on my channel, and you'll get to see when I upload videos because I post on them the fastest. Now, let's get started with my top 10 favorite Pokemon. All right, so number 10 on my list is Salamence. Salamence is actually at the same point it was the last time I made this list. Reason why? Because nothing has really changed when it comes to my opinion on Salamence. It's still a really decent Pokemon, times 4 with the Ice though, and it tends to be a Pokemon I use more in doubles than singles, which unfortunately wasn't really brought back in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee because it's just the Kanto region now. Yay, joy. I will eventually make a video on that, but not now. But yeah, Salamence is still consistently my favorite dragon type, still one of the best dragon types in my personal opinion, and still one of my favorite Pokemon to date, which is why it gets on this list. It's above the honorable mention. So number 10 is Salamence. Alright, so number 9 on this list is actually a new entry. It is Savali. And the reason I like Savali is partially because of his connection to Gladian, well, its connection to Gladian, and I kind of like its backstory too, how it was basically made to defeat the Beast. And while I know it doesn't necessarily doesn't do that exact thing in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and Sun and Moon to a degree, it's still a really nice idea, and I like its connection to Arceus. It's actually really well designed in my personal opinion. It's one of my favorite designed Pokemon from Gen 7. And it's probably, even though it's mediocre in all its stats, I think it's like, what, 92 across the board, it's still actually a pretty good Pokemon to battle with. I like it. I like the fact that it gets multiple types. The only other Pokemon I could possibly pull that off is Arceus, does the connection. And it's a pretty neat Pokemon. I like its connection to Gladian. And whenever I think of this, whenever I think of Savali, I always think of its Gladian's theme. So it's like, I love the theme, I kind of love the Pokemon, so it comes out at number 9 on this list, Savali. Alright, so number 8 on this list is Luxray. Luxray has consistently been one of my favorite electric types, and while I haven't really had the chance to use it, especially in the more recent games, especially in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where I didn't really have a place for it on my team, and most of my theme teams, it's still one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 4. It's my favorite electric type, period, and it definitely deserves its place on this list. So yeah, Luxray, number 8. Alright, so number 7 on this list is Serperior. Serperior is one of the 2 starters that actually get to make it on this list. It's my personal favorite grass type starter Pokemon. It's my personal favorite grass type Pokemon, period. It's honestly, in my opinion, the best starter in Black and White. Well, not Black and White, but Black 2 and White 2, especially for a challenge mode. I kind of like when the game has a challenge mode. I feel like the grass type starter always does that for me. And Serperior in Black 2 and White 2, I've actually become really attached to as a Pokemon on my team. It has become a Pokemon that I love to have on my team a lot, especially with the hidden ability Contrary, which was introduced in Gen 5. And it's kind of a tank. Like, I just get the right moves off, and the whole thing just like everybody's team just falls apart. Leaf Storm, overpowered. I can't. Like, Serperior honestly is like one of my favorite grass types. It has one of my favorite hidden abilities, and is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon. It could have been easily at number 5 and up, but like this list is so hard to make that I had to put it down to number 7. However, Serperior makes number 7 on this list. Alright, so number 6 on this list is my personal favorite water type Pokemon, Milotic. Milotic is a really fun Pokemon to have, both in-game and in competitive play. It is personally one of the best Pokemon to have on a team. It definitely gets on my team no matter what. I try to make sure I have Milotic almost every time I play Pokemon now, especially in the games I can get it, which would be basically Gen 3 and up. It's personally a really good water type. I love my competitive, quote unquote competitive set that I use on Milotic, which would be Scald, Recover, that's weird. Scald, Recover, Ice Beam, and I can't remember the last move. But like those are the 3 main moves that I use. I use Scald to burn, or I use Ice Beam to freeze. It's good against both dragon types and other Pokemon decide to get in my way. I love Recover because it just allows me to keep healing up. and it makes Milotic kind of a tank, and Milotic already has pretty high stats as it is. Um, and yeah, Milotic is one of my favorite water type Pokemon. I wish it could be higher on this list. However, the top 5 beat it out. So yeah, Milotic gets number 6 on this list. Alright, so before I continue down this list, I want to give a quick shout out to Glitch City. I'm currently actually using Glitch City's in music in my video. It's really nice to hear, especially when it comes out, because it's like, oh, it's a new remix, let's see what happens. And it always turns out good. Glitch, you're an amazing remixer. I hope you continue to do this. Although that's your opinion, I hope you continue to keep making remixes. You're really good at it. Thank you for letting everybody use your music in their videos. Yeah, thanks for being an amazing Pokemon remixer you are. And now let's get back to the video. Alright, so number 5 on this list is Crocodile. Crocodile is my favorite ground type Pokemon and my favorite dark type Pokemon, which says a lot because I like both types decently well. Crocodile is my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon, specifically because of Moxie. Moxie is a really interesting ability to have. Get an attack boost every single time you knock out a Pokemon. I'm sorry, with at least 2 to 3 KOs with Crocodile's high attack stat, it's becoming a sweeper in a team. And it's honestly really nice to have on a team. It made my number 5 and outbeat Milotic for the simple fact that, like, even though Milotic gets recover and it gets all its moves, Crocodile overall just has like a more open move set. Like, it can use Earthquake, it can use Crunch, it can use Brick Break, it can use all different type of moves. And Milotic is a little bit more limited in its move set, which is why I put Crocodile above Milotic in this list, which is why it is number 5. Alright, so number 4 on this list is Staraptor. Staraptor is the first ever flying type Pokemon I've ever used. And to this day, it's still one of my favorites. It has been really convenient to have on almost all of my Sinnoh playthroughs. It is honestly one of the best, most rounded early flying starter Pokemon. I mean, they consider like starter Pokemon their own respect. Like, it's the early rat Pokemon, the early flying Pokemon, and then there's the starter Pokemon. And Staraptor is personally my favorite early flying starter Pokemon. It is well-rounded, has decent stats all around. You can be, like, it's really powerful. It hits hard, moves fast. It's just like one of my favorite Pokemon to have. It's really hard to explain it because I have like a lot of connection with this Staraptor. I've used Staraptor every single playthrough I've ever had through Sinnoh. Like, I don't even think about other Pokemon. So yeah, Staraptor is number 4 on this list. Alright, so number 3 on this list is Mimikyu. Mimikyu and the number 2 option had it pretty close. Like, deciding between the two was next to impossible for me. The reason why Mimikyu got number 3 overall is because of the nostalgia. Well, number two I'm a lot closer to when it comes to like nostalgia. But Mimikyu got the number 3 slot for a lot of reasons. One, it's one of my favorite Pokemon to use in competitive play. Z Bulk Up plus Drain Punch, Drain Punch, Play Rough, and Shadow Claw is something to be reckoned with. It is really, really impressive to have on my team. Another reason it made it to the number 3 slot is because it's the only Ghost and Fairy type Pokemon I actually like using. So it's really, really nice to have around in the team. It gave me a lot more respect for the Ghost type because I normally tend to avoid using Ghost type. Not really sure why. I just didn't really use it like that. And Fairy type as well. Like, I didn't really use other Fairy types besides the Azumarill. And, well, yeah. So Mimikyu made a lot of changes for me when it comes to being a Pokemon trainer. And that's why I got number 3 in this list. Alright, so number 2 in this list is Infernape. Now, Infernape is honestly my favorite starter Pokemon. It's my favorite fire type Pokemon. And it's honestly the second closest Pokemon to me. Now, initially, Infernape was actually my favorite Pokemon. Like, it was up there for a while, but the more I used Infernape, the more I realized I like this Pokemon a lot. But there's one other Pokemon that does better than it. Infernape is personally my favorite fighting and fire type Pokemon. Well, favorite fire type Pokemon to have. Fighting type is taken by another. It's really fast. It hits hard. It has mediocre defense, but like, I could take that. Like, I'm okay with Infernape. Infernape was the first starter I ever used as a Pokemon trainer, and initially the first starter tends to be the trainer's favorite Pokemon. But nah, it was not necessarily my favorite starter, but it wasn't necessarily my favorite Pokemon, but it is my favorite starter. Now let's get to number 1 on this list. All right, so predictably enough, Lucario was number one on this list. Lucario has been my channel mascot for the last like 5 years now because I started YouTube 5 years ago. Started this channel 3 years ago. No, about to be 2 years now. And Lucario has always stood the test of time as my favorite Pokemon, and my favorite Pokemon, and well, not just my favorite Pokemon, but like it it stands to reason to be like my favorite mascot. Like it's been a part of who I am as a Pokemon trainer for a while now. It's personally a Pokemon that I've used almost every single opportunity I've gotten. I've used it in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I've used it in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. I used it in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum when I got the egg. I used it in Pokemon Black and White. I transferred it from Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, or I got it in the Challenger's Cave. I used it in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, the part of my team that I got when I got it from the ranch. I used it in Pokemon X and Y, and I love its Mega Evolution to death. I've used it in Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when I transferred it over. I used it in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as a part of a little series I did personally that didn't really actually stream it, which I'm a little upset I didn't now. It is literally a part of who I am as a Pokemon trainer. Lucario is a Pokemon that I love to death, and I feel like I would be a completely different person if I didn't have this trainer. Lucario, it's definitely not the strongest Pokemon, definitely not the fastest Pokemon, definitely not the best Pokemon. There are a lot of Pokemon that's a lot better than Lucario, but Lucario to me is a Pokemon that I can actually feel close to as a Pokemon trainer. It's a Pokemon that I feel like I grew up with. Like ever since the Lucario movie, it's been a Pokemon that I always had on my team. It's been a Pokemon that I've seen and enjoyed having around, which is why it is my channel mascot, and which is why it makes the number one on this list. Well, that's the end of my list. Those are my top 10 favorite Pokemon. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, like I said before, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join me on Discord. We can have more discussions about this. I am going to be doing a lot more Pokemon videos like this where I do top 10, top 5, bring Pokemon series back to the channel because I realized lately I've been consumed with Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you next time.